Okay, so the S&P 500, we're looking at the bearish count rather than the bullish count, because the bearish count trade setup would come before a bullish trade setup. So for a bullish trade setup, we would need the arrival, so the move up through here that we're expecting. So the arrival, the reaction, so we'd need the first high above the level, then the ABC, and then we can look to go over here. Now we can improve on that, of course, but that would be the basic shell of the idea. In the meantime, though, we're looking at this here as the ABC for the A wave, and yesterday video we're looking for the A, the B and the C pulling back 61.8%, and now we're looking for 5 waves to move up into wave C, and then 5 down and ABC for wave 2, and we could short the B wave in here as the A, the B and the C wave here. We should be able to improve on that by getting a short over here on that. We'll talk about that in the indices video, and that's where we are at the moment. So let's go from 50k and move into 1000 ticks here and pick up from where we were yesterday. So I'll just get a little bit more data in here and maybe a little bit more as well, so we can pick up that low here. So this low down here, we won't need that, we can put that over there. So we're looking for the A, the B, a bit complicated all of this, but in a way it's good that we do stocks as well, because it was the stock market that was telling us what was going on with the indices, you know, that made it much easier. So the A wave, the B wave, the C wave for the A wave, and then the B wave here, and then we're going up for the C wave here. Now, what I want to talk about with this is that, you know, through all of this here, we could, you know, I've said that, you know, intraday traders can trade long, position traders will have to wait. But all of this move here was basically just preparing us for the short trade, you know. So we're down here, we're to here, and now we can go to this particular point here. And now we need to look for 5 waves up here. Now I'll have to double check this, so don't take this for granted just yet, this particular move here, but we'll be looking for something like this here. But I'll need to pull that apart. Okay, so but just to let you know that we, in one way or another, we do need to move up, and then we'll be looking to to move down in this case. So like I said, we're just looking for a trade setup, that's all, and the stocks are telling us that you know, that we should be moving down because there's markets that are topping as such. This is the NASDAQ here. As I mentioned before, and I think it's worth repeating as well, because it's a little bit confusing out there. When we've had our all-time high here back in 22, we've come down here. Now, some markets have moved up, like NVIDIA, you know, so we can look at them coming back. They're up here at the moment, quite close to a top. So they will pull back as an ABC pattern here, and then move up like that. And there's a group of stocks like that, Meta and Tesla and so on. There's other stocks that have moved down like this here, but they haven't really, you know, moved up very much, and the Amazon is one of them. There's many others. So when this pulls back here, these ones here will make new lows here. Okay, so there's two different things that are going on with the markets at the moment, in you know, in the bigger picture type thing, you know. And obviously the S&P is being pulled by the banks. And you know, we've looked at the regional banking sector, which is pretty much the same as, do I have it here somewhere? Maybe, I thought I might have it, I'm not sure where I've put it now. Healthcare, tech, industrial, I must have had it, must be hiding in the back here somewhere, so I'm not going to worry about looking at it at the moment. But we can look at it when we look at BAC anyway. So the NASDAQ here. So basically, it's the big tech stocks like NVIDIA that are, you know, driving the market up. The banks that have, you know, the banks have come down quite low, and they, as I mentioned yesterday, they came a bit lower today. But basically, what I've been saying is they've been shoring up a little bit, so they're not in free fall at the moment, but they will rally, and then they will move down again. They'll move down quite strongly, actually, once these tech stocks finish this move here. So for the NASDAQ here, once this finishes up through here, all the big tech stocks, which we'll be looking at today. And there's two kinds of patterns to finish off here. There's a situation where we've got basically one more move to go to the upside, and then there's one that we've actually got two to move to the upside here. So there's kind of two new highs or one new high to come in on an intraday basis. So maybe I've made a mistake somewhere. I'll just have to kind of figure that a little bit. But anyway, with the NASDAQ, this can be counted differently here, right? But the main point is that we were counting this as up as ones and twos in here, and there's two different ways to count this, and we'll look at both of those ways here. But the important thing is that we should come up to the 13,000 and then roll over from that point, and it will struggle up at this old high here as well for all of that. So let's go and have a quick look at that. And I think 1,000 ticks could do the job. So it's a little bit messy in here, but if we just stay with this leg here, this is kind of the important thing. So as you know, with trends, no matter what degree of structure, what fractal, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. And we would have to say this strong move in the middle here would be somewhere in the middle of the trend, wouldn't we? Just generally speaking. In fact, we could say that all of this leg here is quite strong. So really, that's the middle of the trend. This is the beginning of the trend. This is the middle. And so now we're entering the end of the trend. So 13,000 is a nice target. The 12,800 is a nice target as well, by the by. You always call 8 a profit-taking number. The bids will certainly be hit there. And when we talk about 12,000 to 13,000, we're talking about the trading levels now. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here that make up group 1, then 5 the midpoint, 5 being the second strongest number. And we can see the market hugging it. We can see that this move is corrective, so we're going to be pushing up at that point. In pushing up here, we can also, this is a good market to trade the NASDAQ. It's on the futures contracts are good, affordable. I think they've even got little minis as well. So what am I doing here? 50 and 2720. I'm just putting in group 2 here. Actually, I just need to delete one of those. So this is going to be, this is also going to be a resistance area in here, 65, 72, and 80. So group 1, 1, 2, and 3, 5 the midpoint, and group 2 here. So Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8, not too complicated. So the situation is that we either go for wave 3 up here, wave 5 of 3, then wave 4 that will pull back, and then wave 5. And then we come down at that point. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is, and that would be looking at wave 1 here with 5 waves up here. We can actually put wave 1 over here. It's not a big deal. We'll just leave it there though. So wave 1 and 2 here, and then green 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for green 3, green 4, and green 5 for 3, blue 4 and 5 here. So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at this is also just looking at this here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and then back for wave 2. This would be wave 3 here, and wave 4 in blue, and then we have wave 5 up here. So what we could do here is we can copy this and put blue wave 4 here. So I'll need to resolve and have this as the top here, and then this one here. So I'll have to resolve this tomorrow when I look at the stock market again. But these are the two tops that I was just talking about here. So there's some markets like NVIDIA that look like they could have a 3, 4, 5 to finish off. There's other markets that just needed one more push up. And there'll be 5 waves in that little push up. So that's as much as I know at that point. So when we get to the tops here, and when we do get to the top that we need, which we'll get a little bit closer to that tomorrow, hopefully in the next session we can complete the little 5-wave structure here, at least that point. And then we'll need to just focus on this, we'll need to see if we get 5 waves down. So we're going to be looking, scratching our noggins a little bit and trying to figure out the short trade setup. So yeah, obviously there'll be stocks that will be leaders and followers. Okay, there's enough yakking about those indices. We can talk about those indices for. Now, with Apple here, we've got a, such a nice bullish count really here for this. So, but we also need to, we need to work our magic into a bearish count here for this as well. But this is, if there was a bullish count, this is it. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 there, and moving to the upside at that point. So that's that, so I think I'm not quite sure what I've done in here. I'm just going to work my way in here just for a moment. Okay, so this is the bearish count. So if you can think of, if you think of the NASDAQ that's been lifted by the big tech stocks, so we've got one more high here or another little high here, and then we roll over at that point. That's what we're looking for, right? So how does that work in with stocks that look really bullish, like this one here? Well, we look for wave 1 over here with an A wave, and then an A and a B and a C wave up here for this, and we're counting 5 waves up here. So this is one that has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming into play. So it's just got one more top to come in and then rolling over from that point. So it's going to be interesting to see, and also too anything sort of beyond that 5-wave structure to the upside here that would flick it up again. But I'm not that, even if it got flicked up here, I wouldn't be that, I still want to be a little bit careful, because let's just assume for a moment that we have this as 1 here and 2 here, and we look at this as 3 here and 4 here and then 5 here, because to me this can also play out with an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave over here, and then we have a much deeper move coming into play over here. So I'm a little bit wary of that situation as well, but we'll just go one step at a time. It doesn't really matter at this point, just shooting the breeze, don't shoot the messenger. Let's just go in here a bit further. So that's still the bullish count, so we'll just go to this one here. This is where we were yesterday. So we're looking for the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3. We've got a bit of a sharp move here, but I'm not really going to worry about it. I'm just going to put wave 4 there, and we're just looking for wave 5 to the upside. So we could probably look, it's just nipping the top out here now. So that's that obviously means something, but I'm thinking we'll end up at around 160 here for that, so still got a little bit further up. So there's no short trade here. We have talked about being long above this one here, so if you're long at that point, hopefully you didn't get stopped out on that little gnarly spike there. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so 160 if you're still long at that point and you can still go long, that's where that is. I'm just going to go to 100 ticks in here and just bring in a bit more data. This is where we're also working as well in here. So yeah, just counting to the upside here. If I ignore that spike, which I'm sort of would like to do, I'll put wave 4 here, because it wasn't in the main traffic. Something weird has happened, so I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, there's different ways I could look at this as well here. Wave 3 is a little bit short, and I don't have, I got 1, 2, I suppose I could put wave 1 there, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth, fifth. Yeah, that's okay. But wave 3 is a little bit small, so. But anyway, this should still be a bit of a move up. But just be mindful that we could be quite close to a top here, because it will be some of the leading stocks, of course. Some of the big stocks that that pull this down either from here or to here, and all we'll be looking for when the time comes. I was thinking that this would top out at Thursday when the FOMC meeting, the Feds do their funds rate thing. So we'll see. But that would be about the right timing, that, the beginning of the week, we thought that it would be later in the week that we'll sort of top out with all of this. So anyway, that's Apple, and this is Amazon, of course. So we're looking for a move up. It also had a bit of a sharp move back as well, but I think that it might just have another move up. I mean, I can look at it as an A and a B and a C wave here and put that top in here, and I do have a bit of an impulse wave down, but I'm not that sure that that's top in there yet. So I think that we can have another move here and then down at that point. So let's just go into the 1000 here for this. So yeah, it came. Whoops, Daisy! It came back a bit sharp. So I'm a little bit reluctant. You could probably get 5 waves down there, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. But yeah, so I just think that something else is going on here. It's a bit too small to put the B wave here and all that sort of stuff. So not quite sure. But what we do need to do here is kind of prepare for a bit of if the 95 becomes the resistance, then we need to be on the short side at that point. But this is where using Elliott and the markets gets a little bit tricky, because we know that NASDAQ needs to go up. We know that Apple needs to go up, NVIDIA needs to go up, these sort of things. So it's going to drag this up, but will it just give it an ABC pattern here and then come down at that point? Or will it actually just come up here and tip that and then move down at that point? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So just go to 100 ticks. So we can count it up as an A and a B and a C wave here for that, and I can count down as 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a third, fourth, and then the 5th wave here. So I can do that. So maybe maybe we just get the a move up into this space and then we move down. So we need to manage the risk for the trade. So basically what I want to look for is to have an impulse wave down. So the impulse wave will tell us that we're going down further. There'll be another 5 waves. So that will give us the ABC correction coming back to 50-60%. And if we get 5 waves here, then we can short the 50-60% in here. We can get a smaller position in there. Then we can lift this one here. We can bring it all the way over here for that, and look for the short trade at that point, 96.50, lower end of group 2 there. So, something like this here. So we can get a position here and then another position at this point. And based on that 5 waves there, we know that we'll get another 5 waves here. So that gets us on our way at that point, you know what I mean? And then the ABC here can help us manage our exposure properly, our initial risk. So that's what we're looking for. So we can count this down as, maybe Amazon is going to lead us down. Maybe that will be the leader, and it's always good to trade the leaders because they've got more range in them. This is a little 5-way structure, so we should see another little move up here, an A, B, and a C. We could short under here as well at this point. So if it's going to lead, I think we need to be prepared, so I'll just leave that there. But otherwise, we should work higher here, and this shouldn't get clicked in. And we could end up making a new high here. So, but anyway, we'll work from the right. We'll work from the bottom up and just keep working it until we see what we need to see. I mean, it's very promising having these 5 waves here, I have to say. So anyway, that's where that is. Nothing really to do today with anything, This is NVIDIA on the daily chart here, and I just thought because we want to have a look at the bullish count and the bearish count. This is one of the stocks that have come really quite high, so it should stay high in this case, pull back. But so there's a good case for the bearish count where we look at wave 1 here, and 2 here, and 3 here, and A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then down for wave 5 here. So there is a bit of a case for a 5-wave move here, and if that was the case, then this would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave finishing up here, and then in that case we would actually come down further and make a new low in that case. The ABC pattern here is a little bit sort of flimsy, but because this market's so strong and supported by the government and all that, so there's a good chance that this and Tesla and Meta platforms, they've got, you know, some of those other two that I just mentioned have got an impulse wave to the upside. I could probably wingle this as an impulse wave too, in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 5 into here as well, but counts better the way that I've got it. So having a look at the bearish count and the bullish count is good. The bearish count will have on 50k here, and it'll be like this here, so we've got a little bit more to go to the upside here, as the A, the B, and the C wave up here, and then coming down and making a new low here. So it's possible. The bullish count for this is that we have this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and yeah, so we're still in this little move to the upside. So from here, this is 1 and 2. You can do this in a couple of different ways, but you still end up with wave 2 here, and then we're into wave 3, so there'll be 4 and 5 to go. So there's a little bit more to go in this. I'll just cut straight through to, I'll go in and have a look at, see, because sometimes I just don't update everything, you know, but okay, so here's wave 4 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And from 2 here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still need the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th here for this, you know. So when we're talking about the NASDAQ topping out, I mean, look, the NASDAQ and all that can turn down while this has one more little push to the upside by itself type of thing. That's possible. But, you know, we're just sort of worthy noting all of this, you know. And this is the same for Bitcoin, by the way, folks, if you're a Bitcoin trader as well. You know, it's been moving up as well, so it will be doing the same thing. So it's, you know, it's basically Bitcoin is really sort of in tune with the NASDAQ. You know, the banking, the SP 500 and the SP 400 have, you know, got the shackles of the banking sector to them, so that they're hobbling along, so to speak. Anyway, let's just cruise in here a bit further. So coming into here is 3 and 4, 1, 2, and we've been counting up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you know, for 3 and 4, and then 5. So we've got this extra leg in this one here, unless I've made a mistake somewhere, do you know? But I think the thing for me is that I know that the key to doing this is just patience, is just waiting for the setup to come. You know, that's half of the problem. There's only 2 elements to the markets, and one is the markets, and the other element is you. And you need to, understand yourself. You know, you need to understand your own strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, so that's where we are with this at the moment. So we just really, what we're waiting for at the end of the day is we're just really waiting for a nice little 5-wave move to the downside. Because, you know, shorting against the trend, such a strong trend, you know, it's a bit of a mug's game. So you got to have your shit together, you know. So you really need, you know, we definitely need an impulse wave to the downside. You know, we can short up here on the retest and all the rest of it. So, you know, as I mentioned this week, the market's still to the upside. Continued in here, well, we're on 5k tick, so we'll go to 1k tick. That should do the trick. So yesterday we were looking for top of wave 3, I think, somewhere like that. So 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty clear at this point for 3, and then 4 can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. And, you know, if I've made a mistake, then that's going to be a top in a market and not this one, you know. So you need to be, you know, you need to you need to have your eyes open wide. But anyway, there's no short trade set up, right? That's the main thing. This move here is corrective, so that means that top will be taken out. You can go long here, not an issue. So yeah, yesterday we we're looking for the A, the B and the C wave, pulling back to 38.2%, and then we can look at this moving up here. A bit short for a wave 3 and a bit overlapping there. I noticed that on one of the other charts too. I'm not quite sure about that. 1, 2, 3, probably over here. It is a little wave 4, but maybe another degree smaller. But anyway, normally wave 3 comes in around the top here, so we could put wave 3 up here, and we'll just keep building this up. It's probably 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So anyway, it doesn't really matter too much at this point. So anyway, we're going to go up to 265. It's going to pop its head above 265, and then it's going to pull back. Okay, so that's that. So I'll move along a little bit quicker if I can. This is the bearish count for Meta platforms, where we look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. Once again, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here to finish. So that's the bearish count if you wanted to, fit it in, and there's a good case for that. I mean, if I go to the top here, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming down here, a little bit sort of little bit dodgy on the count, but all in all, it's it's all there. So it's possible to have it up here. That would make a wave C down here, so we'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, we've been looking at it in terms of all of this up here as wave 1. So as far as that goes, we're looking at it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, the main point here is that we're going up. And then when we get up here, it's if the S&P and all that's going to make a new low in the market and so on with the banks, then that's going to show up in a deeper move down here, because all this pullback 38.2%, obviously 1 and 2 didn't, so maybe it doesn't pull this far back, maybe it goes deeper. We just don't know. We didn't see what the sentiment of the general market out there. I mean, it's all about expectations, isn't it, being met or not being met. It's got diddly squat to do with value, I think, really. To me it's more just emotional, but yeah. So anyway, let's cruise in and have a look. Where are we on 20? So I'll just go into 10. I just want to see what I've updated and what I haven't. Okay, that's all good. We can just work on the hop here a little bit. So this one here has really just got one more move up here, unless I can look at that as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 now. That kind of fits in there nicely. So this is what we're up against. This is definitely a classic trading levels pattern across the major trading level 2 here. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, which is always in 5 waves, and then we'll have an ABC pattern. Maybe it just comes back to this point here, to wave 4, or it comes back to here. I don't know, but that's where we are, and this is the classic trading levels pattern: the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC. In this case, I haven't got it coming back very far at all, but that's just the general pattern of it all. But we'll be looking for a deeper move back here in this case, but still 3 waves coming back into here. So we should just go in a little bit further. I have no idea what I've updated, so just sometimes they could be completely wrong or a different direction or mistakes and everything. So can we get this as 1 and 2? Oh no, we really got to put that there, don't we, because of that. So yeah, I think we're on the right track here for that. So we still got we'll still end up definitely to probably 210. We've got group 1 above here, so group 1 is 1, 2 and 3, just simple, and 65 here, and 72, 72, 72, 22. That's group 2. That's the initial swing range for this, so I'll just plonk that in there. I'll just go into 100 ticks just to have a closer look at this count. Okay, just want to get a bit more data in here and just have a bit of a look. Okay, yeah, that's alrighty. It's a bit odd in here, but this is 1 and 2 here. This is 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here. I mean, you'd say that somebody would call that a truncated fifth wave, but when I see spikes like that, I won't call that a truncated fifth wave for third, fourth, fifth. Anyway, all that's tickety-boo there, so we should be seeing 5 waves move up here somewhere, so it'll be something like this. It may only get to the 10. It doesn't, you know, it's not I'm probably, yeah, probably dragging that out too much actually. Third wave to the top here, this and this be something like this. I'll lead you astray if I don't be a bit more professional and accurate about things. We'll use that over there, I won't use it now, don't need that, don't need that. Okay, so that's Facebook and Netflix here. So we're just basically, you know, we're just basically looking for an A wave here, an A wave here, a B wave here, and then a C wave to come down. So you can go long here if you want, you know, you can just go long here and put a stop under here, and when that top gets taken out, then you can bring the stop up to that point. We'll just bring this wave 3 down a little bit and wave 4 here, and we'll bring, I don't think we're going to get up to where we need to get up to, but anyway, could be proven wrong. All we can do is just count. It's just count. That's all we can do. So anyway, that's that. So you can trade long, but I'm more interested in the longer term short trade over here for this. Okay, so I'll leave that with you to do your magic there. Like I say, this is, you know, all this week has really been just for intraday traders. And Enphase here, we're basically, you know, we got 5 waves from here to here. So we put in the B wave here. It's a little bit small, but it's kind of, you know, it's the cleanest dirty shirt in a way. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, getting the next 5 waves down. So we should get, you know, we should get some sort of equality between these. So we should be down here, but I did take that with a pinch of salt, you know, but something like that. So the 1 and the 2 here, I'm kind of happy with that. I don't fully understand this little move in here. As you know, I've had it in a couple of different ways, but we know that, you know, stocks need to go up. So things like Netflix here need to go, you know, 3, 4 and 5 up here and then roll over at that point, you know, that type of thing. So this has dropped through here, dropped through the level. So it's just natural to go back and retest it. You know, it's always the case, you know, well, I'll say always, you know, enough times to work it, you know. So this is it here, where it drops through here and goes back up and retests it. So that's what it's doing at the moment. It's just retesting supply. And yeah, so we just need to look at this as some sort of ABC pattern here. Now the thing that I don't know is, I don't know if it's 1 and 2 here. That's what I don't know. I don't know if I need to put wave 1 and 2 over here with this. I've been looking at a series of 1s and 2s coming down, or I can just put this here. This is a bit like the banks, really, in that sense, actually. So yeah, but all I can say is that it's going to retest the 200 and probably push above it a little bit. And then drop from there. So we need to prepare ourselves for the short trade, even though I don't know. I understand what's happening here. Like I said, it's dropped through the demand, and now it's checking back and checking the supply. It's going to hit a brick wall, and we know the rest of the market is going to roll over. So this is going to roll over. So to get from 200 down to 150 will be pretty good. Obviously between, you know, when we talk about 100 and 200 here, these are major levels, and the medium level is always halfway through here. But in a way, from 100 we got 1, 2, 3, and 5, and then 8. And when we get to 8 here, we talk about group 2, so that will be 165 and 172 in here, and 180. So 165, 172, and 180 is all of group 2. So that's going to act as support for this market for the 200. As it becomes the resistance, you can start adding more short positions in that. So we've been working on 100 ticks, so we'll go in here. So I've got, you know, I know I've had 3 different counts, and I know that you've probably pissed at me for that, but, you know, at least I say that I don't know, and I'm just sort of working through it, and each time I come back and look at it with fresh eyes, I see something else, and so on. So this is where I'm up to at the moment. Because we know that the markets, some other markets, it doesn't look like we've got a little 1, 2. I mean, it could be an ABC here. I haven't really pulled it apart, but it looks a little bit impulsive, and this looks a bit corrective. So I'm thinking that we get some sort of move up here, and I hope it goes above the level. You know, that would be fantastic, because then we can use a classic trading levels pattern like here. Do you know, if it trades above, and eventually we'll find some resistance under here for that. So I don't know if this is correct as, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, and an A and a B here and a C here for this. It doesn't look good to me. None of it looks good, but yeah, I'll just leave it. It doesn't really matter what the count is. When that goes up there, that's going to leave this exposed as the first short position. We've got this one here. Now we'll have this one, and now we need to build in over this side here, and hopefully we get 5 waves up there, and then comes back and finds it as the resistance at that point. So yeah, that's all good at that stage. So Alphabet here, I won't go into a big spiel, but from the low here, we're looking at 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then we count down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth. So this one here can have 3, 4, 5 to go up here. If I've made a mistake, then the mistake is going to be that this is wave 5 here, and we're going to be coming down at this point. But the beauty about this is that this green wave, blue wave 4 here, they will pull back to each other at some point, if that's the case. So basically, you know, if we're going to short it, you know, if this needs to go over here because I've made a mistake in here, then it doesn't really matter, because the market will trade up here, and eventually it's going to come down and find the 100 as the resistance. So that's where we can short it once that becomes the retested resistance, and we may be able to get a better position further up as well. You know, it'll just depend on how things look. So because we're discretionary traders, we have to wait for, you know, we have to wait for price action, we have to wait for patterns, we have to wait for evidence and something that we recognize and have some confidence in, and all of those sorts of things. So that's where we are with this. The trend is still up. This is a corrective pattern. This is a nice little ABC here. So what I can say to you is that we will take the top out here. That's all I can say. Is it worth it as a trade? I don't know. So Microsoft should follow Alphabet and push up. So is it pushing up now? I thought it might have one more little tiny low. It's not the horizontal line. I think we're done here. Okay, well, I can use that as wave 5, so I'll put that in there. So we should make, we should just go straight up and make one more high here for this. You know, we won't be shorting the top here, by the way. You can, but I need to wait for 5 waves to come down. You know, like I said, if I'm going to trade against the trend, I better be, you know, I have to do the right thing at the right time. So, but yeah, so that's where that is at the moment. And that will be in line with everything else at that point. So you can kind of get to see that we're getting close to tops. It's just a matter of getting it right, and some don't do it correctly and all the rest of it. So Berkshire Hathaway here, looking at this as 5 waves down here for the A wave, then an A and a B and a C wave for the B wave. And then I think it's, you know, because he's investing in the banks, I think he's going to be pulled down by the banks, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, we can short the next low here. So there's no rush today or anything, but we can short that low here now for that. Okay. I wouldn't turn long unless... I'd only turn long if we saw a nice impulse wave up here and then would buy the pullback here. And basically I'd have to take that top out here. Don't have to take, it's either this and we go long here after 5 waves here. But otherwise we'll just stay on track and we'll be looking for a move down. It's going to be a little bit tricky above the 280 here because from the low to the high here, this is the 50-60%. And it's doing a little bit, it's doing what Enphase is doing really. It's dropped through the level and it's still going on at the battle here. It hasn't got it as the resistance yet, and there will be another move up here. So we'll probably have to look at this here. I mean, I could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here in the bullish case and then move up from that point, right? But it's not what we're looking at the moment, even though things look bullish, you know. And we, you know, the whole market's really waiting on the, you know, the markets are moving up because they probably think the Fed's not going to do anything, you know. But I think the Feds can see beyond the forest and trees or whatever that saying is. So yeah, but anyway, we've got this ABC pattern here. Buy the rumour, sell the fact type thing, I suppose, with the Feds. So we'll see how that plays out. But we've still got another move up here for that. Okay, that's the takeaway here. So our short trade setups are not coming until Thursday. But even once Thursday comes and they make the announcement, you don't want to be day trading around the announcement. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, folks do. You know, you need a really good. You know, you need to trade futures contracts. You need a really good platform. You don't want to be involved with market makers or, you know, I mean, yeah, we used to run bots on FX to find out who was doing what, and sometimes, you know, they would have a 5-second delay in things around news events, you know, so, you know, to get themselves positioned. So you've got to be careful with market makers. I'm talking to people in Europe and Asia where CFDs are involved. So anyway, I won't go to the intraday on that. We're going to have a rally. And this is Tesla, of course. So with Tesla here, you know, we've had it always as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 2. But if we're going to drag it into the rest of the market, we have to look at this as the A, the B, and the C wave here. So that's what we've been doing. And then we'll see a move down in this. So this is like NVIDIA. It's pretty strong. It won't be coming down that far. I can't really count this up as an impulse wave here. So, I mean, as a corrective wave, it counts better as an impulse wave. So this is this would be one of the more bullish stocks out there, you know. So let's go in and try to understand this. So I'll just check what I've done here. I can't remember. Okay, so this is it here. So we don't need that, and we could put that over to here. Not that it matters. And then we're just looking for wave 1 here and 2 here. Push this to the side and we'll be going up for wave 3 and 4 and 5. So that will take us retesting the 2 here, and then it will fail at that point. That's the 50-60%. Let's just go into I'll skip the 5K. What do we got here? Okay, this has got this here. So yeah, same thing here. So we need 3, 4, and 5 here to finish that off. Okay, that's where we're heading. So basically, you know, same story as yesterday. We're going up. Good for the short-term traders. Not a problem. Everything's fine. I'm just more concerned about this bit over here for that, you know. So that's where we are at the moment. For that, I don't need to put all that in there. You can do all that. With block here, I think this is going to be with the other markets. I think we've got a rally for the retest here, and then down again. You know, I'd like to count that as 5 waves, but we've got overlap here for this. I know that, you know, if you're going to get overlap on something, it really typically happens around large numbers. Especially if stocks have got low volume, and somebody comes in and places big orders, then, you know, it just and most people think in whole numbers and, you know, and even numbers, you know, so yeah, once you understand the pecking order of numbers, and that's what the trading levels helps you recognize, or at least brings your attention towards it. But yes, overlapping wave structure. So it's possible that we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then the ABC here. And then, you know, if this is an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here, well, it's very sharp for a C wave, isn't it? You know, it's more likely part of a bigger bear market, but we don't know just yet for that. Once this goes up here as an A and a B and a C wave, once that makes a new high here, it will leave this exposed here as the short trade setup to go short below the B wave here. But we'll try to find something over here with 5 waves down, an ABC pattern over here, and then look for the short trade at that point. We could only go long here if we got another one of these here, so that would require this coming up here, which will react from here anyway, and then if it made a move up, then we'd have the classic trading levels pattern at that point, and then we could go long from that point. But we don't have that. Like I said, we're focused on the short side of the market because the short trade is going to come before any long trade. I'm okay to say, okay, well, we didn't get the setup for this, and this moved up here, and now we're going to look for the long trade, because we're traders, you know. I mean, we use analysis, but we don't want to, like, get stuck on our own, you know, opinions about emotionally being right and wrong. I mean, that's just egotistical, and it's not very helpful, and the less opinions that you have, the better. So we'll leave that to there, and we're over to the banking sector. This is why we got the S&P 500 as wave 2 over here as well, by the way, because obviously, you know, they're all in there as well, and it's weighing heavily on that. So the thing here is that I could put wave 3 here, and wave 4 here, and wave 5 over here, and we could have it like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and that's the end of it. I don't think that's the case. It's possible, but I just don't think that's the case. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes out. I think there's a bigger picture here to unwind here, but we'll see. Anyway, as I say, trends have got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when we look at this here, we could say these 5 waves here are the beginning, and then we could say this is the middle in here, couldn't we? And then we could say, well, this is the end in here. So I've been thinking that I'm not really quite sure how to do this, by the way. But yesterday we were looking at this here, just looking for one more little move down and then a rally. So I'm thinking that rally hopefully will be wave 1 and 2 here at this point. And then we can go down from that point into a bigger picture here, a bigger, stronger third wave here. You know, there's probably more skeletons to come out of the closet, as I said when the first one came out. You know, there's always more to the story than you get told. So you just take them as little warning flags. Anyway, I won't waffle too much. I'll just go to the 10K. Stay on point, Pete. 10 ticks. Or was it 1,000 we were going on here? I'll just check. Right, okay, this is where we were, yeah. So yeah, I was all a bit confused about this here. You know, I could take a guess at it, and I know that's wave 1 and 2 here, And we've got wave 3 here. I could probably even put this here, really, too. I could look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. Then the A, the B, and the C. That works. I could do that. You know, but this is what I'm saying. I'm not quite sure. Yesterday when we spoke, all I could say was that we had 1, 2, 3 here, and we're in here, I think. So we still needed to make a new low below here. So we're making that low now. So I'll just move this here. So yeah, we knew that it was going down, but it's not going to go down far. Famous last words, of course. But still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of wave 5 should be roughly the same as this. So it's kind of done here. There might be another little low here, but hopefully we'll see some sort of little ABC pattern here. It doesn't have to be very big, and then we'll be going down again at that point. So just waiting for that, really, at this stage. You know, we've got a short trade up here somewhere, so we're going to add to it over here on this retest here. That will give us the timing. I could probably put that there too, actually, with 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, it's pretty high, isn't it? Yeah, look, there's different ways to do it. It just, the penny hasn't dropped, so it will drop. It will drop. So anyway, that's where we are. That's everything. Alrighty, so we'll leave it at that. So just to recap a little bit, is that the tech stocks need to make one more push up at minimum. Some of them may have two pushes to the upside. Once we get up to here, then we've just got to find a short trade setup. You know, it could come from this being wave 1 coming down here, then an ABC pattern here. And if we do get an ABC pattern here, we'll just be looking to short under here for that. You know, and we may get triggered in, or we may end up coming up here for the next 5 waves up here. So we just got to keep moving up to get it, but it should be worth it. That's the main thing. So we'll see. Alrighty, that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.